Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a Massachusetts Central Radio Show. I'm your humble host, Mike Mo, here for one of these. I'm going to try to prop you guys up. Dang it. If it falls down, it falls down. So, hello guys, welcome back to another radio show. I'm your humble host, here for the last half an hour of the day here. So I'm going to be here about 15 minutes, and I'm going to try to put this one to do. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday, January 23rd, 2022, here for episode 9, RS22-9, episode 289. Yeah, 289, so we're at 289. We're going to be at 290 tomorrow, so I'm an out-of-hours appointment, so I'm not going to be able to record early in the day. Probably going to be later in the day, maybe 6-7 o'clock. So yeah, guys, I didn't record a Gear Change Show episode because I already did a gameplay episode. I'm going to do the Daytona 24 preview probably Friday, probably next Friday, or maybe I'll record it tomorrow and then upload it from my PS4 on Friday. So I don't know, on Friday I'll do the Gear Change Show a little early. I'll do it on Friday technically because the Rolex 24 is on Saturday and I do want to watch it. The reason why I didn't record yesterday is because I wanted to finish watching Weathering with You today. So I watched half an hour yesterday and I watched the rest tonight, and wow, was it a great movie. To the animators and to the screenwriters, you really had to kind of know, you kind of had to know what was going on from the get-go. You kind of had to know the whole, you kind of had to know a little bit of that universe. The characters that are in the movie are actually based off the character designs of Your Name, or Kimi no Nawa in Japanese. Your Name, the Kimi no Nawa is Japanese for Your Name, or Your Name Is, or something like that. It's great. That's a great film. Its animation is good, but its story is very sad. There's some plot holes and there's still some questions, but the story is very emotional and stuff like that. This story is more on, is not emotional based on loss and stuff like that. It's based on, the movie kind of bases on changes in the environment, and not only changes in the environment, but also changes in, what we see in each other. Now, I didn't read anything. Now, I read into it a little bit, but I didn't. But it starts off with this boy named Hawada, and he's I forget if it's Hawada Honada. I can't remember. I'll have to. So this boy named Hawada he's a runaway. He doesn't want to be around. He just runs away from home, and he just doesn't want to be around his parents and stuff like that. And he's trying to, find a place to live in Tokyo. And he's just trying to get away. He gets stopped by the police and all this other stuff. Some guy takes him in, has him work on, because he was trying to find work in Tokyo so he could live by himself, so he didn't have to so he didn't have to be with his parents. He could live on his own and stuff like that. So he does actually get paid and stuff. So he does find a job with this guy named Keicha Suga, and he has to find these weird stories and stuff and all these happenings and stuff like that. But he runs into this girl named Hina. I think it's a Namo. I think it's a Hina Hanamo, and I think her brother. And you know, he also runs into this girl named Natsumi, who's kind of who's a family member of Kei Suga. Mr. Suga, as he's called by Hoada. And he runs into Hina after she deals with her mother's death. Her mother was very sick for many months, and she passed away. Well, it's implied that she passed away. She goes up to this rooftop to this Shinto gate, and she's transformed into this world where she can suddenly call upon the sunshine, and she's known from there on in as the Sunshine Girl. And I think after that, Hoada goes into her. Tawada finds her, and they go on this huge thing on clearing up the sunshine. I mean, they were trying to change. In the movie, the whole landscape of Tokyo has been flooded for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I think it's like I forget how many weeks it is, but or days. But they just get rain almost every single solitary day, and she finds out a way to. And it's raining when she's praying for her mother, because she wanted the sun to shine so she could get her mother to go one last walk before she passed away. And she prays that night, and eventually she, as I said, she gets to the shrine. So anytime she prays, she gets the sun to shine. She's eventually called the Sunshine Girl, and she keeps on hearing that, Hoada keeps finding out that he was finding out the stories of this girl that can make the sunshine. They go to a fortune teller who is voiced by Masako Nozawa. If you guys do not know who she is, you guys probably have been living under a rock, but Masako Nozawa or Nozawa. There's a bunch of different titles or pronunciations for her name, but she's known as. But she voices Gohan and Goku in the Dragon Ball series. I think she also does Goten for a little bit, and I think she also does Kid Goku early on in the Japanese version. Not Steph Nadolny, who did Goku in the Dragon Ball in our English dub back in the early 2000s. And he seeks her out, and they go around. And after that, he finds her praying at that place, and they go around causing the sunshine to go out, brightening people's lives, and they're trying to change the future in a way. They're trying to change the climate. They figures, they can make change, they can change their future, and they can change fate and all this other stuff. But it's kind of and you know, there's a couple of open stories. There's and while this is all happening, the police are trying to find him, and they're asking people and seeing whether Hina first meets first kind of I forgot to mention Hina first meets him when he's eating a bowl of ramen in some in a in one of those ramen shops, one of those restaurants, one of those cafes. She's kind of one of those. She's her life is different because she's 15 years old. Although she lies that she's 18 in the movie, so that she can get a job, so she can work at the said place, so she can work during school to provide for her brother Nagi, who is a lot younger than him, a lot younger than her, and you know, there's a little bit of a love story going on, and you know, a lot of people think he likes her and all this other stuff. You know, and you know, she even when she first meets him, she thought he was a stray kitten or a shy kitten or whatever, or just or an Kim kitten or whatnot. There's all these funny little references that the girls in the Japanese anime make to describe the boys that are just shaken. They kind of look out of place and stuff like that, which you know, and you know, and you know, they got, and as I said, they go on and they get paid to kind of do that, and then she gets paid, and she's it's kind of her job because she needs to make ends meet, and she needs to provide for her brother. And there's quite a few cool moments between the two. They actually Takabana is also referenced. He calls on he and his grandmother Numi call on Hawanda and Hina to provide sunshine for them, and Taki make an appearance. It's only for a minute. It's only for like 2-3 minutes, and he doesn't get much screen time, so he makes a cameo, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a homage to that movie, since they're kind of in the same universe. And I find it kind of interesting that you know, there's a global thing going on in this movie. I mean, these movies seem to have a real theme of that. So if you guys remember in Your Name, Mitsua's Mizumi, her village gets destroyed by at the beginning of the film, before they changed history, her, through going back in time and swapping events, and Taki warns her and all this other stuff. Her village isn't destroyed and stuff like that. And there's a point in the movie where he actually buys Hina a present for her 18th birthday. You know, sort of as a charm, you know, for all her hard work and stuff like that. And Mitsuo is actually a jewelry salesman at this one mall, where he actually goes up to pick up this 2,400 yen ring, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of those cheapo stainless ones, you know, the ones you get in Mexico, you know, the cheap necklaces you can get in Mexico for like $5 if you barter with the locals. I actually had an experience with that, but I'll tell you as that at a later time. So you know, they go about their business, and they change history, and they try to change it because they don't want the because they don't want the place to flat out, and they don't want any global change, because everybody's talking about that and about the rainfall, and they were like, oh, if it goes at this rate, there'll be floods and stuff like that, yada yada yada. So she ends up, so she ends up going, so they free up the sky one more time, and then he ends up getting chased by the police. Come knocking on his door. He's about to give her the ring and stuff like that for her 18th birthday, and they end up asking the detective and one of the cops that's going on the case ends up going to Hina's place, and they ask, has he been here? We seen him in this area, and they say, well, you're too young. You've lied about your age to get a job application here. In Japan, it's kind of a rule that while you're in school, you're not supposed to hold a job, so you can focus on your studies. It's kind of a cultural thing, but it's kind of smart. Kind of funny because I didn't hold a job most of my high school career until I was junior year, which was 17, 18. Very Japanese like. But and then eventually, they have to run. And she kind of, you kind of figure out that her emotions and her well-being kind of dictates how the weather is going to be. So it starts raining really hard, and it's sort of like, if you don't make up the changes, you guys don't keep up the awareness, things will go on. And her mood, she's on the run. She doesn't feel very good that, she's underage and she's lying to the cops and stuff like that. She's living unsupervised and stuff like that. And the whole town goes down into a frenzy. There's floods everywhere. They try to find a place to stay. They eventually find a place that he uses some of the severance pay, because he actually gets fired from Kei's job, Kei Suga's job, and he gives them like 60 or 70,000 yen, which is like $450 or something like that in yen. So they spend the night in this really nice hotel. They warm up, they shower and stuff like that. They have a nice meal. They have a nice time with each other. Him Nagi, and after they run, they tackle the police and all this other stuff, and they go to find one of these places. They after Suga tells them, they kind of have to go home and stuff like that, go to the police station, yada yada yada. She kind of reveals during he gives her the ring to celebrate her 18th birthday, which she lied about, but he doesn't know that. So he ends up, so they end up talking, and she goes like, oh yeah, that's right. Midway through the film, they actually talk about the Sunshine Maiden. The Ray and Natsumi talk to this older lady, this older lady, and this grandfather who's been around for ages. These 100-year-old guys. He's just sitting here telling them how the Sunshine Maid has been around forever and a day. They've helped keep the environment balanced, but in order to make the sky clear and prevent that catastrophe from going, they have to sacrifice something, or you have to sacrifice something, which kind of plays into what we're doing right now, because we're going to have to sacrifice automotive the internal combustion engine, a bunch of other stuff to reverse time. So that sacrifice is obviously going to have to be is obviously going to have to be Hina, who's the Sunshine Girl, and she is. And in the prophecy, they figure out that she is part of it. While they're actually on the run from the cops, she actually reveals to him that, you know, the sunshine and the weather and everything is part of my body and everything like that. Like, it's a part of me, like the sky and me are connected. So this is the reason why it's raining really hard, because of the emotion she feels. And if she's happier and she doesn't have to constantly do the job, because the other thing is, while they're talking to each other in the bed and stuff like that, she kind of reveals to him, and it's typical Japanese, but she does her robe, and he reveals to her that, and she reveals to him that, you know, this is what happens. You see how my body is transparent? It looks like I'm turning into nothing. I'm sacrificing part of myself to part of my being to give people this happiness. So, you know, so she's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of sacrificing part of myself in order to do this. So in order for me to be normal again, I need to be in a place where up in the clouds, up in the sky, so I can be part of it, so I can be the ray of sun forever and ever and ever and stuff like that. So, you know, we gotta sacrifice this power. Sorry, we gotta sacrifice this power, and we can't abuse it and all this other stuff. So during the nighttime, they all have him, Nagi, and the whole city of Tokyo has this dream where the Sunshine Maiden or the Sunshine Girl goes up to the clouds, and it's sunshine. Juana gets taken in by the cops. They want him to confess. They want to know where Hina is because she's underage. She's really 15 years old. She's not 18. She's shocked by that. And there's a whole chase going, and then there's a whole chase, and then after that, there's a whole chase. Natsumi helps him get to the spot. He goes up to the shrine. He ends up going up there, bringing Hina down. They get caught, and he gets arrested. He gets put on trial, and they put him on probation for 3 years while he completes high school, and while she completes high school. They cannot talk to each other. So, and in that time, because there's no happiness and there's no nothing, Tokyo gets flooded, and at the end of the film, he talks to Numi Tatsubani, and she tells him about how, you know, son, there's some things you can't do, and, you know, this is the way it was, because Tokyo used to be a small little island. It used to be a whole bay. This used to be it's going back to the way it was. The environment and the world is taking back what it lost from when mankind and the advancement changed it. So it's almost, the movie's almost saying that it doesn't matter what we do to make change, there's always something that's going to screw it up. And that's the problem with the climate change and sort of stuff like that. So it's pretty heavy stuff. He eventually sees her Hawada sees you know, years later, they embrace, and they you know, they all, you know, everything changes and stuff like that. The movie ends off, you know, with the typical singing and stuff like that. I like it. I liked it, and for whatever reason, when you watch these movies in this animation sequence, I forget the company. I'll put I'll put the name of it, put the name of the company in the description when I upload this soon. The description, but they have a, when it comes to a tense moment, or it's one of those moments, one of those really hyped, one of those really emotional film moments. Usually they start singing a song or something like that. I thought the movie was really good, and they definitely did well with the animation. The story was, this was more of a story where, this was opposite of Kimi no Na wa, where in the movie it was more like, oh, we can go back in time and change it, versus, this is what our reality's got to be, it's, and the way I see it is, the these two young teens want to change the world. They want to do a bunch of stuff, but there's the police, there's the police and all this other stuff, which represents government bureaucracies and all this other stuff, and corporations wanting to stop the climate, wanting to not stop climate change, because the oil companies, the governments, wanting to make money, and and all this other stuff, from reaching that goal, and that probation period, kind of reminds me of when the companies kind of took advantage of, when we wanted to go to EVs years ago, when George Bush, Trump, and a bunch of other people wanted to stay with gasoline engines because they thought it was too expensive. It's not their way. They're not very progressive. So, as I said, it's kind of the non-progressive thing of state and government versus people who want to think freely and want to change something. But at the end of the day, it kind of, that 3 years kind of delayed it, because in the final couple of scenes, Hwada goes into the Bay of Tokyo, and the bridges, the city, it's all underwater and stuff like that. It's all flooded. Numi Takabani even says, "Oh, my place was flooded." So Taki and everybody else is living everywhere else. I just want to say, Mito did not get the longest cameo. Taki actually had the longest of the cameos. I think he was in for like 3 minutes, versus Mitsuo, who was in for like 20, who made a 23-second cameo. So, but they wanted to show you how they progressed and how they're doing in life. They don't mention them at the end, which kind of stinks, of which they would, but but yeah, I give the story a 9 out of 10, because I felt, and they didn't make it into a love story at all, a love story, which is great, and stuff like that. They wanted to focus on, there's sometimes you can change fate, and there's sometimes you can't, and there's always some obstacle getting in the way. I'm pretty sure if I look this up online now, I'm probably right on the money of what I just said. So I do actually give the creators a bit, because they do tackle real world issues, and it's great that they're doing it. And not a lot of American filmmakers do this, but I do give a huge round of applause. There's a reason why I give it a 9 out of 10. I think they could have probably have done it. They probably could have done a little bit better with the story. They could have moved it along faster. They could have made it a little bit more believable, but that's the style of Japanese anime movies. So, and I think they did it right on the money on showing you just what happens when you want to make change, but bureaucracies kind of impede that a little bit. I think that was in the last movie too. there was always a barrier for Mitsuha and Taki to overcome. I'm pretty sure that Mitsuha had to overcome her stone-headed, her thick-skinned male father for not calling off and everybody evacuating. And he says, "Oh, nonsense! Nothing's going to happen." And eventually, they were actually able to get everybody to evacuate, and she was actually able to live. So, so there's always an obstacle in these movies, which I like, and it's realistic. There's always something. But yeah, I think the movie did very well, and I hope this company keeps making more movies like this because there's not too many movies out there that tackle it directly or through metaphor, and this company does. As I said, I'll put the link, I'll put the description, I'll put the company, the director, and the company who makes it in the description when I upload it. But I give them 100%, and to do it in an hour and 51 minutes was actually pretty good, seeing as Kimi no Nawa was around the same length, give or take. But as I said, they did a really good job. I'm very impressed. I want to see if April's actually seen it, so I'll ask her I'll ask her later this week when she's available to talk, or I'll contact her tomorrow and see what she says. So she's not asleep. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how the visit goes, and stuff like that. And I'm going to try to record the Gear Change show tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to do Pokemon. I have to upload my last Pokemon episode, then I'm going to record episodes tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but I'm going to record episodes for... No, I'm not going to upload I'm going to upload the Pokemon episode Thursday, and then I'm going to try to upload more episodes, try to record more episodes tomorrow if I can get this thing to work. So yeah, guys, that's my in-depth look in my 30-minute kind of look at my interpretation of the movie, my Weathering by Me. I think it's really, straight to the point. I think the movie hit a home run, so I definitely give it a 9 out of 10. And I think it's a really good movie that everybody can relate to, and anybody that wants to make change. I'm pretty sure that I've had that experience over the last 2 or 3 years. So, and my obstacles in helping out a certain somebody, but in the end, though, mine was actually successful. So, so yeah, this movie's always do it, and I'm pretty sure it was Kimi no Nawa that kind of inspired me to actually do what I did. So, and this movie kind of makes me realize how special that movie series is. So yeah. All right, everybody, that's my full personal take on Weathering by You. I will see you guys later. Peace out, and and as usual, everybody, long live America, God bless America, long live our freedoms and our rights. Amen to our amen to my grandparents' spirits, and all the spirits that we've lost either due to the natural causes of COVID. Also pray for my friends, all of them, Tom, Meg, April, Dan, Andrew, and the Learn Prep community. Hopefully they're all strong. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will bid you a good night. Peace.